When we walk up to an ancient temple complex, the sheer scale commands our attention. We see massive, imposing blocks of stone that look like they could withstand anything. But then, a discarded plastic cup hits the steps, and someone scratches their name into the 1,000-year-old stone. Because these structures are carved from granite and basalt, we tend to treat them like indestructible playgrounds, or simply massive piles of old rock. Think about your own family's history. You would naturally protect your grandmother's faded photographs or antique jewelry. These ancient monuments operate the exact same way. They are the physical memories of our cultural history. If you were cleaning an heirloom brass pot, you wouldn't scrape it with a harsh wire brush. That immediately destroys the finish and ruins its value. A heritage site requires the same care. Beneath the imposing stone exterior is a highly sensitive, fragile anatomy of the past that disappears instantly when exposed to simple carelessness. By looking closely at the precise geometry of these walls, we realize these spaces operated as massive ancient engineering laboratories. The builders of the Ramappa Temple in southern India applied construction techniques that still confuse modern structural engineers today. The most startling structural anomaly is found right in the temple tower. The bricks used to build it literally float in water. While a standard dense brick immediately sinks, the Ramappa brick was engineered with a highly porous, sponge-like internal structure. The makers achieved extreme lightness without sacrificing the load-bearing integrity required for a roof. We find similar architectural anomalies at the Lepatakshi Temple, where a massive stone pillar was precisely balanced to hang suspended entirely off the floor. The physical anatomy of these monuments proves our ancestors possessed a deep grasp of applied science. Preserving their work requires us to be equally exact. We can see this same precision by moving past the massive pillars and zooming in on the micro-level text embedded right into the walls. These carvings are called inscriptions. They operated as the public records, the daily news feeds, and the status updates of antiquity. This shows exactly how that data was stored, a highly organized database cut into granite. By decoding texts from sites like Kolanupaka and Amaravati, we learn what citizens ate, the taxes paid, and how the Telugu language evolved. This creates a preservation paradox. How do you clean and protect a massive database when it is built out of highly fragile natural materials? The wall frescoes at Lepatakshi perfectly illustrate this vulnerability. The artists extracted these vivid colors entirely from local botanical sources, using specific leaves and flowers. If a modern cleaning crew sprays standard industrial chemicals onto those natural pigments, the colors melt away entirely. It equates to taking a lighter directly to a historical document. True conservation is a quiet, highly targeted science. The primary goal is to protect the raw data using gentle methods, operating in complete opposition to the blunt force of standard modern cleaning. Keeping these chemically and structurally vulnerable records intact requires immense effort. Yet that responsibility does not belong solely to elite archaeologists. The survival of these monuments relies heavily on an active, daily ecosystem of ordinary citizen conservators. The first rule is simple: do no harm. Carving names into a pillar or dropping plastic waste introduces destructive modern elements into an incredibly fragile environment. The second rule is to be the eyes on the ground. You might stumble upon an undocumented statue or a strange inscription right in your own village. When that happens, do not attempt to scrub the artifact clean or dig it out yourself. Simply record the GPS location and report it directly to the local archaeology department. Our culture is our identity. By accepting the basic responsibility of a citizen conservator, we ensure that tomorrow's generations will still be able to decode the legacy left for us in the stones.